Thank you, Rita. Hello, welcome to Friday's Look North. Let's crack on. Tonight, there's another Moor fire in the hills above Sheffield. It's the latest heatwave of 2026 and it may be on the wane, but pressure on workers, services and farmers still continues.
We're having to feed our winter crops, our hay, to the animals now, so we're probably going to fall short in the winter.
We'll have the very latest on the Moor fire, which is near the village of Bradfield. Also coming up tonight, new lives in a new home. The Afghan refugees who were forced to flee the Taliban 5 years ago tell their stories. There's new treatment for eczema in Sheffield. We'll tell you how it's changing lives. And the Barnsley family knocking into next door, if you please, and becoming social media stars on the way.
A change on the way, cooler and fresher this weekend, more unsettled next week. Join me for the very latest forecast.
Hello there. It's the last day of one of the hottest weeks on record. I don't need me to tell you that it's time to cool down. While temperatures have soared to record-breaking levels, people who are at work have been finding ways to cope, keeping their businesses going and services to the public on schedule. We shall have some more on that in a moment, but first, yet another moorland fire has just been brought under control after 2 days. This time it was on the northwest of Sheffield, from where Nathan Turvey has just sent this report.
Thank you. Yes, you join me here on the edge of Bradfield Moor, high up above the villages of Low and High Bradfield, just in the valley behind me. As you can see, firefighters still here on the scene. There are 2 appliances up here, another appliance down by the nearby Strides Reservoir, which is pumping water from the reservoir up to the scene of the incident here. That's a stretch of around 2 miles. The challenge, obviously, in these really dry conditions is actually getting the water to the site and the scene of the fire. And this comes just a few days after a dumped kitchen caught on fire in the area here. That was luckily put out by local farmers. Local farmers also helping in the incident here today. And of course, today, Andy Burnham has announced a ban on disposable barbecues.
The temporary ban on barbecues, disposable barbecues, comes in today. All retailers will be receiving notification of that ban, and we ask them to obviously implement it in full until further notice, when we can remove it.
I'm joined now by Scott Merrills, the incident commander here, to tell us a bit more. Obviously a busy afternoon for you, so thanks very much for talking to us. Just tell us what the latest is.
So we've now got the fire fully surrounded. We've managed to establish what we class as a hard fuel break on both the right flank and the left flank. We've done that in partnership with the Fitzwilliam estate, who have been an extremely huge help for us during this incident. This fire was actually started by a campfire 3 weeks ago, and we got our initial attendance 48 hours ago. So we've had crews on scene for the last 48 hours, preventing it spreading to 2.5 hectares of open moorland on what we're classing as the right-hand flank.
And what sort of area is it covering then at the moment?
So at the moment we've got about 10 acres, which is what's been damaged at the moment. That's now contained. I'm confident that that's contained, and we've got a good managed structure to work through the weekend.
It's quite an operation, just seeing the pipeline that you've laid.
Yeah.
So getting water up here is the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is actually a multi-agency operation. So you've got South Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service working in partnership with National Resilience. So we've got North Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service, who've provided us a HVP, so another pump. And then we've also got a Dorset and Wiltshire wildfire tactical advisor who drove up last night and has been with us for the last 24 hours.
Well, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. So, as you were hearing there then, the fire appears to be contained, but the fire service say they will be here on site for at least the next 7 days.
Thank you, Nathan. That is the latest from the moors above Bradfield. Yesterday, we reported from the East Coast, where visitor numbers appeared to be up and seafront traders in Scarborough were doing brisk business. But of course, the heat doesn't help every tourist attraction. At Cannon Hall Farm near Barnsley, they would much prefer wetter and cooler conditions. And in North Yorkshire, those working with heat-sensitive products like chocolate say trying to post their product out is a total non-starter. Phil Bodmer has been speaking to people who've had to adapt to these extreme heat conditions.
A few degrees cooler than yesterday, perhaps, but with the mercury hitting the high 20s, South Yorkshire was still baking under the sultry summer sun. At Cannon Hall Farm near Barnsley, The hot weather is posing new challenges for staff and animals alike.
Well, the animals outside, they've got nothing to eat. We're having to feed our winter crops, our hay, to the animals now, so we're probably going to fall short in the winter.
To protect livestock, some animals are being kept under cover with industrial fans installed to keep the air flowing. In Rotherham, bin collections have been starting an hour earlier. Shift timings moved to enable trucks to return to the depot to protect operators from the heat of the day.
It's not the easiest of jobs at the best of times, and it was through discussions with the staff that we came to the solution of the earlier start. It was at the request of the crews. They wanted to start in the cooler part of the day. We're obviously providing them with more appropriate summer clothing with lots of water, sunscreen as well, instructing them to take regular breaks, and we've got about 70 places across the borough where crews can get welfare facilities.
For this York-based chocolatier, the extreme weather mean his sculptures melt in the humidity.
It's too hot to sell. Customers don't really want to buy and walk around with bars of chocolate and chocolate gifts all day in the heat. So it's just literally had a massive detrimental effect on the whole trading of our chocolate business.
Ashley diversified his pub business to produce spirits as well as chocolate. Some of his products are sold back at the Cannon Hall Farm shop, but the heat also affects visitor numbers to the South Yorkshire attraction.
They might come very early in the morning before the heat gets too intense, but literally the numbers are less than half. A rainy day, right, we have more customers round, right, and you wouldn't have thought that. You thought sunshine, visitors, they're the perfect mix. But when it gets too hot, people just want to stop in and keep cool.
With the forecast suggesting a return to cooler weather over the coming days, staff and some residents here may welcome a little respite, except perhaps these newly born miniature Mediterranean donkeys. For them, the summer of 2026 feels just like a home from home. Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North.
Thank you, Phil, and of course the weather's on the way with Paul very shortly. Now, the skin condition eczema can affect 1 in 5 children, with some needing hospital treatment for pain and skin infections. Holly from Sheffield was one of those children, but now, thanks to a clinical trial at the city's Children's Hospital, she has a pain-free childhood back. Corinne Wheatley has been to meet Holly, her family and the doctor who treated her.
This was a constant struggle for Holly, painful, itchy skin that affected many areas of her life.
It hurt when I bent my arm because it cracked open and it kept weeping and it felt really itchy. I wanted to scratch it, but I couldn't scratch it because I knew it would hurt.
The 10-year-old from Sheffield had suffered with chronic eczema since she was a toddler.
The nighttime routine was the most intense, where we had to soak her in bath, moisturise, wait to then put steroid cream on, and then it was wet bandages, dry bandages.
Holly's eczema often got infected. At one point she developed septicemia.
She ended up getting admitted into hospital for 10 days and being put on drips and other medications. So yeah, she was really poorly. Doctors were really concerned to whether she were actually going to make it back out of hospital. So yeah, it were quite scary.
Just look at your arm where it used to be really bad here, didn't it? And now there's just a...
Holly has been on a clinical trial at the Commercial Research Delivery Centre at Sheffield Children's Hospital, the only hub of its kind in the UK. It involved fortnightly injections of a new drug, the name of which can't be disclosed yet.
Biologic drugs are the next generation of treatment. They're really clever. So in the past, we just used things like steroids to suppress inflammation. Really crude, lots of side effects. Biologic drugs are very clever. They actually switch off the underlying problem. So they correct what's gone wrong, and that's why they have very few side effects and they're very, very effective. To give you an idea, after about 4 months, we usually see about a 75% reduction in the severity of the eczema, and by 6 months, 90%. And then after that, it may go to 0.
The treatment has been life-changing for Holly, clearing all but around 5% of her eczema, and she's no longer affected by the allergies connected to her condition, which now means she can play with her grandma's dog and enjoy more time outdoors.
I felt excited because then when I grew up I could not have eczema. It was working and I felt happy.
No more going back and forth between hospitals. We didn't see her in pain anymore. She was starting to get better, her skin was clearing up. She was starting to become a happy child again.
It was amazing, honestly. It was a weight off our shoulders, wasn't it? She was able to do things more with her sister. She was able to do so much that she restricted herself from doing. So, yeah, it was nice. Seeing her being a child again, it was lovely.
Once upon a time, there was a...
Her family hope more patients will be able to benefit from the treatment in future. Corinne Wheatley, BBC Look North, Sheffield.
Oh, that's brilliant stuff. Thanks, Corinne. Fingers crossed for Holly and her family. Now, you're watching Friday's Look North. We have another great news story on the way tonight because we're going to meet Alexa from Harrogate, who is up on the big screen this weekend in a brand new feature film. Now, more than 3,000 Afghan refugees who fled the Taliban 5 years ago have now settled in our region. Many still yearn for their home country, but a return seems further away than ever. Our communities reporter Arzu Dutta has been meeting people who've resettled here.
August 15, 2021 was a dark day in the Afghan history. We are the only country that do not have a constitution. We're the only country that do not have a government. And we are the only country that our daughters are not allowed to go to school. It is a very tough life. It is full of pain.
5 years ago, the Taliban rapidly seized territory across Afghanistan as US and NATO troops withdrew from the country after nearly 2 decades.
We were told that there will be a free Afghanistan, there will be a democratic Afghanistan, educated Afghanistan behind by 2025. But suddenly the whole changed, the story changed, and the same Taliban took the country back.
Khyber was the director of Afghan Borders, and in his role previously, he was the translator to the British Armed Forces. That's when he was injured by the Taliban while travelling by helicopter.
As it was landing, I guess that was in their range. They shut it down. So that was the first time I got shot in the head. I still have fragments in the head.
He now works as an interpreter for York City Council and has founded the Afghanistan Community Group, but still has hopes to return home one day.
So some people think that we're here and we will never return. Believe me, I will return every second to my country. I will return even today to live in that country, but I cannot live there. I will be targeted and I will be killed because of the background and the support that I've provided to the UK Armed Forces.
Farishta was a newspaper reporter in Afghanistan. The Taliban had a stark warning for female journalists.
I remember 6 months before Taliban came, they treated every woman, don't go to newspaper. If we see you to go to newspaper, we kill you. We practice what to do when Taliban come. But I have friend in here. She was reporter and she had his brother, her brother with her. They went to get a report and Taliban attacked them and killed her brother. Yeah.
She lives in Leeds with her husband Hussein, who worked for the British Embassy in Afghanistan, and they wish to give their children a safer future.
I would say we're all humans, you know. We do the same things that you do every day. We have children, we have dreams, we do school runs. So we make sure that we are raising our children between two cultures, that we don't actually forget where we come from, what values we had. And at the same time, we don't want to ignore the new country, our new home.
Khadija ran a tailor shop back home, but life for female business owners also changed.
In my country, when I in the morning when I wake up, I don't know I'm alive or not until night, because it's not safe for women and all people live there. I took out of any poster from my shop and closed my shop. I was very sad. I lost my job in one day. I crying in my side. I lost my hope. Any woman don't have any future because of Taliban.
She wishes for a day when Afghan women regain their rights and hopes to start a clothing business here in Yorkshire.
Everything changed to me. My language, my job, my education, everything new for me. I want to become a designer, and I hope so one day I can build my own business.
Khyber, Hussein, Farishta and Khadija are among many Afghan refugees who are making a life here in Yorkshire. But their ultimate hope is for a free and safe Afghanistan. Arzu Dutta, BBC Look North.
Now let's take a look at some of the other stories from around the region which you can find on the BBC News app. A supercar dealer has been jailed for 2 years and 6 months at Sheffield Crown Court after he sold customers' vehicles and kept the proceeds. A man has been convicted of 3 offences after writing an abusive message to an MP on a St George's flag in York. And a cat from Sunderland that went missing for almost a year and was found 100 miles away in Leeds has been reunited with his owners. You can get more details on those stories and everything else happening in the region by downloading the BBC News app. And some sport now. In Rugby League, Warrington beat York by 30 points to 10 to turn up the heat on Leeds. The Rhinos, who are narrowly in top spot, lost this season's 100% Super League home record after defeat to the Lee Leopards. Leeds thought they were level with just over 3 minutes remaining when Ryan Hall barged over in the left corner, but the try was actually disallowed because his trailing right foot was out of bounds. Now it means Leeds are just 2 points ahead at the top of the table. Sunrisers Leeds are through to the women's final of the 100 at Lords after beating Southern Brave in the Eliminator. Sunrisers Leeds won by 5 wickets and will face Trent Rockets on Sunday. They may be joined by the men's team because they're currently playing against Manchester Supergiants in their Eliminator. Meanwhile, Sunday could be a very busy day for all of our cricketers. Yorkshire's men are still battling for a place in the one-day Cup semi-finals. Today's quarter-final against Notts is being held at Clifton Park in York. And Yorkshire set Notts a victory target of 274, which they're now chasing. Of course, if Yorkshire win, they will be playing away at Leicestershire on Sunday. Phew. Now, time, whoever has enough. Time, saving it, banking it, and who it's stolen from is the plot of a major new film which is out on national release today. The film, Momo and the Time Thieves, stars a teenager from Harrogate in the title role. You're going to love Alexa when we meet her in a moment, but first, here's a little taste of the film.
Where are we going? Neverland.
There you are. My name is Hora, Master Secundus Minutius Hora. Would you like to see where time comes from?
This is so beautiful.
And I'm delighted to say the star of Momo, Alexa from Harrogate, joins us now. That looks like an incredible film, huge big production values, massive sets. What can you tell us about it?
So, Momo and the Time Thieves is about an orphan and she lives in an amphitheatre and she finds these friends who become like family to her, and the amphitheatre comes like a home to everyone. But these time thieves come along and steal everybody's time, so it takes all of that away from her. So she has to work with Master Hora, the Master of Time, and Cassiopeia, like a magic tortoise, to win it back.
So a bit of mythology, a bit of science fiction, something for everyone.
Family friendly.
How did you end up getting a role like this? Because you're still, excuse me, really young to be carrying a big film.
So I have an agent, which is someone who helps you get jobs, and I ended up, I got a self-tape for it. So I filmed it, I did like 1 or 2 self-tapes, and then I ended up going down to London for an in-person recall, and then I did a chemistry read.
What's that? What's a chemistry read?
So a chemistry read is where they put you with you and then another character and just see what the chemistry's like.
See how you get on.
See how you get on, to see like what the vibes
It's a big,
are.
long process then. You must have had a lot of faith in your own sort of ability to keep going. How long have you been acting and where did it all start? Was it school nativity?
Well, actually, I was a shepherd.
Yes, yes. Come on, we've all been shepherds, haven't we? But you took it another step.
Yeah. So, what is it? So, when I was 4 years old, went to like a local like school classes, and then I did their like school summer camp. And you know, when I went to that summer camp, something clicked in me, and I was thinking like I've got massive passion for this. I want to do it for the rest of my life. And then found out everyone had an agent, so I asked my mum for one.
And there you are. And tell me a bit more about, you know, being in a film like this. What have your mates said to you? What's the pressure on you? How excited are you?
So I think my friends and my family are so good with it. I've never met anyone that's really just like clashes with it and just thinks it's a bit. But, you know, I think there's no pressure. I think also what's good about screen acting is the fact that you can just do it again. Yeah, I just think it's so exciting and it's something new as well. And, you know, being on set, you always learn new things from different people. I think it's great.
Alexa, thank you very much indeed. All the very best for the film. How exciting for you.
Thank you.
And it's in cinemas this weekend. Now, to a bit of DIY, or a large bit of DIY. Nikki and Liam Linley bought their first home in Barnsley. Then, to create space for their growing family and stay where they wanted to, they actually bought the house next door and started to knock through. Budgets meant doing most of the work themselves, and they've decided to document their process. Little did they know that their efforts would create a social media storm. They've been sharing their story with Look North's Mark Ansell.
We're Liam and Nikki, and we're knocking 2 terrace houses into one family home. 11 years ago, we bought the house on the left, and it needed a full renovation. We set about doing it ourselves, and with the help of family and tradesmen when needed, we made it into a house we loved, but soon realised we needed more space.
When we thought we were finished and knew in future we would have to be creative as our family grew, we were given the opportunity to buy next door. We posted about it on Instagram, and that's when things got crazy.
It was a way to document the build, to document the renovation for when as kids are older, and even when we're older, to look back on it and the fond memories that we've got from it.
I have always followed home interior accounts and renovating, but I've also grown up in a home where my mum and dad tackled everything themselves.
We're able to inspire other people to take on and tackle jobs, inspire other people, like when Nikki replaced the lock on our door and we got hundreds and hundreds, thousands even, of messages saying, "Oh, this is amazing. You've inspired me to do the same and to have a go." We're sharing all ups and downs of this renovation. The ant infestation, the mice that keep getting in every now and again, the rotten floorboards. So if you want to watch me and Nikki DIY renovate these 2 terraced houses into us forever home, then drop us a follow. And if you want to see me almost fall down the stairs, stick around for the next 5 seconds. So yeah, if you scroll back through his posts, you can see all the plans we've got for these 2 houses. Having almost 1 million people following us is crazy. We never ever in a million years thought we'd even get 100 people, and that was and has been the running joke between me and Nikki. When we first started the account, Nikki said, "Oh, wouldn't it be nice if we had 100 people following by Christmas?" And within a matter of weeks we had over 100,000 people, and it's just continued from there. Pull the paper off in our new house. Yay! You did it!
I would say having kids alongside the renovation is actually fun more than anything. Don't get me wrong, there are times where it's really stressful and there are times where they can't be in the environment for dust or whatever. But a lot of the time they just want to help. So factoring in the time that they could actually be with us is absolutely amazing.
Teaching my 6-month-old daughter how to fit a mug rail. Mummy wants it there. All done. And that's how you fit that cup rail. Do you want that one? Impact driver. Don't eat it though, it's a bit dirty. There's not very many negatives, and me and Nikki are both really positive people. There are a few. It takes ages not having to, because we want to film everything. We really enjoy the DIY, and we do enjoy filming and sharing everything. It just does take a lot of time doing that. And like anything, when you post on social media, you're going to get those negative comments and those negative messages, which we do. But again, it's just water off a duck's back.
Even though our home looks finished in some rooms, we're nowhere near finished, and we're still living in the renovation. We're still working on the floor plan and how to join the 2 extensions together. Not only has the house doubled in size, but so has our gardens.
There's been a crazy amount of graft so far, and there's loads more to do. And we've already created a lifetime's worth of dust. But we absolutely love it here, and we can't wait to show you what we've got lined up next.
What a clever idea, and lots of hard work. Are you handy with a screwdriver?
Absolutely shocking, no.
What about handy with a weather forecast? Please bring us rain.
World-beating forecast, as you know, Tom.
Okay.
A bit of rain on the way, but the main thing is, for those of us that didn't sleep last night, the heat wave is coming to an end.
Good.
This was the start of things this morning in Upper Thong. That's a beautiful view there, some cirrocumulus in the sky. That's very nice. One thing that is struggling at the moment, heather does not like heat and drought, and that's a very drab looking piece of heather there in Pateley Bridge. Keep the pictures coming in, of course, if you're out and about this weekend on X, on Instagram, and on the Weather Watcher website. So tomorrow, a very pleasant summer's day, a normal summer's day for a change. It looks dry and bright with some sunshine, but much fresher and cooler. Still pleasantly warm, highs around 22 degrees Celsius. So high pressure just about still in charge. It will be there on Sunday. A lot of cloud on Sunday, I think, but mostly dry. But then we're going to see some fronts relatively weak. It will bring some rain from time to time. They will bring some rain from time to time, but nowhere near enough, but it does look much more changeable. Now there's a satellite picture. In fact, we've had just a report of 1 or 2 showers, believe it or not, across the North Midlands this afternoon, but the rest of us have been dry. We've seen temperatures up to 29 degrees, so it's another warm evening. Still a chance of the odd shower across the southeastern part of our region, but elsewhere it's dry. Cooler air filtering into North Yorkshire. Lows of 10 degrees here, but still warm in South Yorkshire, 15 in Doncaster. So tomorrow's high water times, a lovely day in Scarborough again, 6:31. Similar conditions in Filey and in Bridlington. So a fine and dry day to come. There will be variable cloud, very small chance of an isolated Pennine shower, but it does look fine with some sunshine, just a light northwest breeze. And take a look at these temperatures. Remember, yesterday we set a new August record of 36 degrees at Topcliffe. Tomorrow we're 13 degrees cooler than that, so we'll notice that, but it will feel very nice. 20 Celsius across the Yorkshire Dales and 19 in Scarborough. It leaves us with a lovely evening, Saturday evening, dry and mainly sunny. Mostly dry on Sunday, although it will cloud over. And there's a hint of something more changeable with near normal temperatures. How about that?
What is that graphic with the dark shape and the blue thing coming out of it?
I think that's a raindrop,
No
Tom.
way!
Yes, it is.
OK, well, you promised it. We've heard it here first. If it doesn't work, he is being sent out to do a rain dance. I'll see you at 10:30 for your Ovaltine. Take care.